Inspire FM. The time is now 6 o'clock.
Any health advice given, whether general, diet, physical, or spiritual, is general only and must be verified by your doctor. If you need medical advice, please consult a doctor.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to all another exciting and educating edition of the Health and Fitness Show. I'm Fahad Matin, your host for today, and I hope and pray that all of us are fit and healthy by the grace of Almighty Allah. I pray you have a nice and positive week so far and looking forward for a nice and relaxing weekend. This program is broadcasting live from the studios of Inspire FM today on 27th of July, 2023. And time just past 6 o'clock. And podcasting our positive vibes to all our lovely people in Luton. And all the surrounding areas of Luton like Dunstable, Harpenden and Bedford. Our positive airways reaching all our listeners who are listening us through Inspire FM website, app, or Facebook page, or even YouTube channel links. Yes, you can view us live from Facebook and YouTube channels. If you're listening this show any other day other than 27th of July 2023, that means it's repeat, and whatever giveaway happening in this show will not be applicable, unfortunately. So, according to NHS England, to stay healthy, adults should have 150 minutes of moderate intensity activities every week. And a healthy, balanced diet is vital to enable optimized health and well-being. Yes. We all know that these kind of things normally we do. And that's one of the reasons my show is very different in many different ways, shape, or form. So as we all know, we cover different health information topics every single week. But today's topic is slightly same, but very unique in a way, because today we are doing so many things for the very first time. Like me wearing an Inspire t-shirt. As you always see me in the suit, I had thought, why not wear something different? I'm proud of Inspire FM. Why not wear Inspire FM? So I'm wearing Inspire FM t-shirt just to show that I am happy. And it's not the very first thing I'm doing for the very first time. There are so many other things. In my show, we are giving a very special healthy activity, weight loss. I will be starting my very special healthy weight loss journey from today. And we are running a competition. Yes, you have heard me correctly. We are running a competition on my show, which we will be giving a prize worth of £1,000. And it's a health prize, mate. And definitely, finally, but not leastly, we have 4 different charismatic guests with us today in the studios from the 3 different organizations. First time in Inspire FM studio in my show. So without further ado, let's go to our topic today. Our topic is revitalizing our body and mind. Yes, you have heard me correctly. We are talking about revitalizing our body and mind. And why are we talking about this? We are talking about this because human being normally stuck in a hamster wheel. All of us, including myself. Every single day we wake up, we normally do our work, we go back to our unnecessary, unhealthy eating styles, and this thing continues. We try to find some time for gym. We will go to gym. We will do some exercise. We will do some workouts, and then we will complain that we are not losing weight. We are gaining weight. We are not healthy. We are not well. We are unfortunately having some long-term conditions, and this is unfortunately majority of us in that way. I am one of them. And that's why I'm happy, because I will be starting my very healthy and active weight loss journey. And that will be more discussed during the show. And I'm not the one who will be talking about the show. Yes, you can see that I'm excited. I am very, very excited because it's very, very unique in many different ways. So without further ado, let me introduce our guest of the day. So my first guest. So my very first guests are from Optimize Body and Mind, the Optimize Boys. And if you do not know Optimize Boys, then definitely you do not know anybody. And they are none other than brother Nasir and the wise guy. Optimize Body and Mind is a private health and well-being clinic offering blood tests, private GP consultation, vitamin injection, laser removal, and many more service. But why am I saying all this? Let me ask Nasir to give us more details. Nasir?
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Fahad. Can you hear me, first of all?
Yes.
Hopefully you can, guys. Okay, cool. Fine. So 100%, what we're about is trying to make people feel the best version of themselves. So we do very comprehensive blood tests, different to what a GP will do, because GP will normally only do blood tests to investigate a certain problem. We do very comprehensive blood tests. We check about 57 or 58 blood markers to check everything. Okay, with that by data, we help people to kind of deal with any deficiencies, hormone imbalances, to become the best version of themselves, right? So yeah, it was a very comprehensive service. We find out what the issues are. We help you deal with the issues, fix your baselines. And if you need to speak to a doctor, then we have our own private GPs on board to come in and help you there also.
Very good, very good. Now, our second guest is a Luton-owned boy. He was grown in Luton. He was born in Luton, grown in Luton. Faisal Malik, a name which is recognized by many. He's a professional MMA fighter. He's a legend in his own, and own a gym called Legend MMA. He's a BJJ black belt, and he started his training 10 years when he was 10 years old. He was almost my son's age, and in boxing and transition to MMA, and he is in combat sports since last 18 years. Am I right, Faisal?
Yep, that's right. I'm the owner of Legends MMA, and we cater for the average fitness enthusiast to all the way to becoming a professional MMA fighter.
Wow, and definitely it is an honor to have you here, because mate, you are legend for many youngsters as a role model in many different ways. And last but not least, a person who I'm really looking forward to get advice and guidance. He is a person who has achieved thousands and thousands of life-changing transformation. He's the owner of Gain Seeker, and his goal is simple: empowering people mentally and physically to become better version of themselves. And he's none other than Afsar Chaudhry. Am I right, Afsar?
Yes, brother, absolutely, 100%. Really happy to be on the program. And what I do and what Gain Seekers is about is, so far I've worked with thousands of people from all different backgrounds, all different demographics, facing all different challenges and hurdles in their life, right? When you're in the position when you decide that, look, I don't want the life that's been prescribed to me as normality, being out of shape, being unhealthy, being unfit, I want to turn that around. The biggest conundrum that a lot of people face is they don't know what to do. What do they do with their diet? What do they do with their training? What do they do with cardio? When do they make changes? The whole purpose of me and what I do is to remove that issue so that you have a clear-cut plan and strategy and support and guidance every step of the way to get into the shape of your life. And that's the sort of knowledge and experience that I want to share on this show moving forward, inshallah.
Thank you so much. And I should say Assalamu alaikum to first thing I should say to all of you, but I completely forgot. So Assalamu alaikum, guys, in that sense. And definitely we will be working, and I'm literally looking forward to be working alongside with you. Your guidance definitely means a lot for me, for my personal achievements as well. And I would like to share that bounty with everybody. So I like to go to our listeners as well. So listeners, if you have any questions or queries regarding our show tonight, please give us a call on 01582 481822. I repeat, 01582 481822. Or you can send us your questions via text messages or WhatsApp on 07779 481822. I repeat, 07779 481822. And definitely the price giveaways, and I'm keeping it for the last because I'm not the one who will be explaining about this, and it will be explained by the very own wise guy from the Optimize.
So yes, so we've got a competition basically that we will give away up to £1,000 worth of goods. So this includes things like a full body MOT. It includes 3 months worth of coaching plan. It includes a personalized training plan. Much more to give away in that the prize.
Yes, indeed, and that's one of the reasons I said that price is worth £1,000, and it is a very, very unique journey, because when I absolutely see myself, because not far time ago, I still feel tired. I still feel lethargic and tired. And I remember I just met Nasser, and I was explaining about myself, and he says, "Bro, are you just literally rephrasing my advert to my face, which has not been released yet? Are you trying to be funny?" I said, "No, mate. I'm just literally explaining you about myself." And that's when the epiphany followed through. And he says, "Well, there is a way you can look after yourself. You can become a better version of yourself. All you have to do is just put your mind to it. And if you need some guidance, advice, we have right amount of people with you who can work alongside with you into your journey. It's a 12-week journey to begin with." And then it's a lifelong goal to be better ones of yourself, and that's how I've been introduced to these brothers. I have a very expert knowledge of a brother officer in terms of diet wise. I have very brilliant guidance from Faisal in terms of the physically taking my pain to the very extent of lengths, and definitely in terms of my medical advice, other than my GP, Nasir and the team is there for ourselves. And Nasir, if you guys don't know about, he himself has gone through a severe health challenges throughout his life, and he has gone through a very, very unique transformation journey himself. And people like him normally inspire me more. And to be honest, I was one of the things which people always used to say, that you're getting fat, man. You are doing the health and fitness show, and you're a very unhealthy and unfit person. What's happening? I thought, it is the time. Let's put myself back into shape. But that's all from me. Let me push our questions to our lovely brothers over here. Now, very first question is very unique, and that is to none other than the whole team. So, guys, my question to all of you is, diet or exercise, which is more important for healthy lifestyle?
Very interesting. I'm going to tell you from my own experience personally, and then obviously Asa can give his unit, and the guy Faisal can give his. Personally, for me, I find that when I'm going for a transformation, normally it's quite difficult on the body to kind of start training your first week, because you go through a lot of pains. Okay. At the same time, if you're going on a diet and you're going through a structured diet and you're cutting out all the sugar, etc., again, it's difficult to have that change mentally as well, trying to stop the carbohydrates, trying to stop their sugars, etc. So I personally myself, I find I do at least a week first to reprogram myself in terms of diet. Okay, I cut the sugars out, I cut the chocolates out, I cut the cakes out. I just behave myself for 1 week. So the following week, when I jump into my diet, I can focus on my body, and I'm not thinking about that extra chocolate or the extra biscuit, anything. And personally, for me, I think that works quite nicely for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. So for me, with that question, I think the most important thing to remember is that you can't out-train a bad diet. So it doesn't matter how much you train. How many people do you see go to the gym, right? They're doing all the right things. They're working out, they're regular, but their body's not changing to any sort of degree. And the reason why it's not changing is because they don't have a nutrition plan to follow the goal that they're trying to achieve. I will tell you how powerful diet is. I work with lots of people who have got like really difficult issues that they're working with. So like, have had spinal operations, are in a wheelchair, right? Have got debilitating health conditions. So they can't go to the gym. They can't do intense cardio, but we've still managed to get them into great shape because we've got them on a proper diet plan. So your diet is your foundation. I think the biggest problem is that a lot of people think that a diet plan will achieve everything, which we can go into later, right? But it's a combination of, don't think, when you're trying to get into shape and you've made that decision, don't just think diet, think lifestyle. So what is it? It's a trinity: cardio, training, and diet, right? These things together, right, is what will ultimately take you to the best shape you can be in. But your training and your cardio, they are catalysts of your diet, right? So if your diet's in the right position, you can basically expand that progress really quickly with your training and your cardio. But without a doubt, for me, 100%, and I've seen this working with thousands of people, is that diet is where we're going to start off to begin with. Let's get what you're eating in order first. Let's get that routined, and then you can start to build upon that.
Mhm.
I'm the complete opposite. For me to diet, the motivation, I need to train. Do you understand? If I can do the hard part, which is training, the diet is easy. That's from my experience. Like, I won't diet for the sake of it. I will only diet if I'm actually training.
And I think that's based on intensity of your training as well, isn't it? So the way you train as
exactly.
well.
Yeah,
And
indeed.
I like to, then I pick up an important point. Afsa, actually, I only met Afsa because I had a diet plan with him. And, you know, he's brilliant because actually I changed my life around in 12 weeks. And what I've noticed was, you know, when you're younger, when you're in the gym, when we're about 20 years old, and people are saying, look, 90% is diet and 10% in the gym and 20% sleep, like, you know, those kind of percentages, right? And you're spending about 80% of your time in the gym and you're hardly sleeping and your diet, say, eating burgers, etc. And you're not really growing, right? And it's only when I spent that time at AFSA that I realized, look, diet isn't brown rice and boiled chicken.
Yeah,
it's not your boring food. He was actually giving me beef and chips in the evenings. I was eating cinnamon, what do you call it? Those toast in the morning. I was eating my favorite crust in the morning. We're having chips on occasions. We're having chicken wraps, so the food is actually quite nice. I think it's a diet that's sustainable, right? It doesn't throw you into a diet where you're eating food that, look, you know, after about a week or so, you're going to get bored of it. So personally, me, I changed around myself. My body changed around. My six packs came out. And to be honest with you, one of the reasons why I named the company Optimized Body and Mind, and I think you guys will appreciate it as well, when your body is tweaked, your mind just opens up at another level. And I think sometimes the question is not how do I get into a better shape? The question is how do I get into the best version of myself, or how do I have the quality of life? Is it? I think that's the kind of real question we're trying to aim at.
Indeed. And let me bring our listeners as well. So listeners, if you have any questions or queries regarding our show tonight, please give us a call on 01582 481822. I repeat, 01582 481822. Or you can send your questions via text message or WhatsApp on 07779 481822. Now, I do have received one question, and I do open that question to the whole group, because here it says a person, I'm sure you don't mind me mentioning your name, Noman, send them a very lovely question. And to be honest, it is same as myself, that I love chicken and chips. What shall I do?
Well, the thing about it is that getting into shape doesn't mean that you can't have quote unquote bad food. What it means is that you have a diet that is designed for the goal that you're trying to achieve, and it has balance. There's no one that I work with who can't have chicken and chips once or twice a week. Right, that's a fallacy. Like, it's not all or either. What it's about is about having balance, right? So if you're eating correctly 95% of the time, and then you have 5% where you have foods that you enjoy, that you want to indulge in, you're going to keep moving forward. The problem is that today's diet there's no thought behind it. Just eat what you want, right? That's full of preservatives, right? Full of saturated fats, full of high sugars. That's what does the damage, right? So you can have that balance of being able to have something that you enjoy every week and still get into great shape. I have clients every single day that have a snack allowance of like a couple of 100 calories, so they can have a chocolate bar or crisps or whatever. But because they're doing the rest of the stuff right, they're getting into shape. So don't let that stop you.
Because that person just literally sent a follow-up question saying, as a taxi driver, it is so hard and impossible to eat right. Takeaway everywhere. What should I do?
I think, you know, I would add on to that one, because I had a very similar problem to myself. When you're working, what they were doing, you're eating on demand now.
Yeah.
All right. You're eating on demand. It's like when you're hungry, you're buying chicken, chips, whatever you want. But to be honest with you, planned diets, I think AFSA's given me diets, but to be honest with you, I was taking it with me and I didn't find it difficult with that. Do you see my point? So it is possible, isn't it?
Completely. And brother, so the brother who's put the question through is a taxi driver. Good news, I work with a lot of taxi drivers. I understand your situation. I understand your dilemma. You're on the road. You don't really have time to bring meals with you, right? And let's be honest with each other. If you're sitting there and you've got Tupperware full of cold chicken and rice, who wants to eat that? So what I tell a lot of these guys to do is pretty much anywhere you can get access to a peri-peri shop. Go in there, peri-peri chicken breast strips, right? Not going to be an issue. Get that with a salad. Anywhere you go, you can get grilled meat or grilled fish, right? So there's no excuse. A lot of the taxi drivers that I got, will give them a good breakfast, right? So like a good couple of whole eggs, 1 or 2 rounds of toast, maybe a protein shake. Then when they're out during the day, I will say to them that wherever you go and grab either go to Nana's and grab a butterfly chicken breast, or go to a peri-peri shop, grab yourself some chicken breast strips, have that with the salad. You're not going to fall off your diet. You're still going to be getting that protein in. You're avoiding the carbohydrates. You're avoiding the excessive fats. So it's not impossible. If you're a man on the road and you're very busy, you don't have time to prepare the food, you can still get into great shape. And that's what a lot of people don't know. They don't know that.
But the follow-up thing is the gym, because people who have these kind of absolutely extra regime, either they are going to their hands-on work, they are the crucial workers doing taxis, the bus, or other these kind of pure heavy jobs, or people who are working in offices or hospitals. They are very heavy jobs where persons after finishing the job are so damn tired they do not have to. I'm not talking about any other Joe blog. I'm talking about myself. After finishing my day in office, or when I was in hospital, I was finishing my day in hospital. My gym is in my way to go to my house, so I have to go past the gym in order to go to my house, and I do not have enough energy to go to that one. So what do you reckon a person need to go to gym to get into the shape, Faisal?
Yeah, you do. Depends what kind of shape.
Okay.
But if you want to get into really good shape, 100%, you have to go to the gym. You have to do some sort of physical activity, whether it be lifting weights, running, martial arts. Because it doesn't just train your body, it trains your mind as well. You know, you're saying, I feel lethargic and I feel tired. We all feel like that. We all have 18-hour days. But it's mind over matter. We just got to get on with it. It just depends on how bad you want it.
Yeah, so I pretty much agree with that. I mean, the thing about it is that I work with people on all these vocations. So I will tell you straight up, most people who work for the NHS, right, doctors and nurses, they are my hardest clients because, like you said, they're non-stop. They have shift patterns that are up and down. So what I tell them is this, is that your body is a gym. It's what people don't realize, right? So you can do a home workout, right? Just body weight movements. You can walk, do extra steps. You can go for runs, right? That's what people don't realize. You can get into shape. If you start moving that body and you start working that body, the body's response is you get into shape. And the thing about it is like this. In the beginning, it's going to feel arduous. It is going to feel a task. Why? Because you're doing something that's a new lifestyle.
Yeah.
And when you bring that in, it feels like a big chore. But what you've got to remember is that the way that Allah's created this body, right, it's like living hardware. And the stress that you put it under allows that body to adapt. So where you begin to feel fatigued and tired at the beginning, if you keep with that and you just keep pushing yourself, you'll start to get stronger, fitter, and healthier. And that there raises your energy. This is what people miss out on this gold, right? Is that when you work on your body like this, yes, of course it's a challenge. Of course it's a task. But if you keep with it, you get a little bit better every single week until you're at the point where you're thinking, I've never felt so energetic. I've never felt so strong. And that's where people go wrong. They give in too early.
I would say, 100%. I think my view on that is it's a bit for like a vicious circle on it, isn't it, right? Is it mental or is it physical? Mentally, you're feeling like you don't want to do it. And physically, your body doesn't want to do it. Okay, so how do you kind of start it? What we find is that, like Afsa, is like you said, 100%, you have to take the first step. You have to take the first step. You have to go through the struggle. The first week, the second week might be hard. Yeah. But once you get in it, you are going to start enjoying it. One of the things we recommend, I think, Fahad, that's what we've done for you. We recommend the vitamin injections, for example, right? That could be something that gives you that extra energy in the beginning, gives you a kickstart, gives you extra recovery, gives you extra energy to kind of push your body. After that, once you're in a cycle, you can naturally kind of like fall into place.
And yes, and to be honest, with the vitamins, if a person don't want to take an injection, don't take an injection. Take a supplement. 100%. Take a normal supplement if you can. And there is a very good trick which I did not know. I used to take supplements. When I spoke to Afsa, I said, I'm taking supplements. Why am I taking that many supplements? They said, because your body is already low on that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, you'd think to yourself that you can cover all your micronutrient and vitamin bases within a diet. But unfortunately, with the quality of food that we get nowadays, not all that covers over. And you've got to realize that, you know what's really weird is that we're living in a paradox of an era, right? So we're living in an era where obesity, mental health is probably at its all-time worst. Yet we're living in an era where you have so much power to be proactive about your health. When you look at the resources that you've got sitting here, right? What the Optimized Boys offer is that you can literally take your health into your own hands by getting your blood test, getting a complete blueprint of what's going on in your body. So nothing's left anymore to guessing, right? Secondly,
I have to stop you over there because unfortunately,
the flow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm so sorry, Muddy. I am so sorry because unfortunately we are about to go for a break. The time has passed so damn quickly. It just gone like that, and we are about to go for a break. So when we come back from the break, we will talk about this more, and after I will ask you to continue from there. And definitely after the break, we will be doing a competition. We will be calling one special person to see who is that person. And
yes, so one lucky winner is obviously going to win up to £1,000. It's still time to register. If you go to www.inspirefm.org, register under the competition, and you should be a winner.
indeed.
This program will continue after the break. Continue listening to Inspire FM. Inspire FM.
Inspire 105.1 FM.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ubaidullah Evans. I'm from Chicago, and I just want to send a shout out to Inspire FM 105.1. Keep it lit.
You don't have to go to Pakistan to enjoy the finest Asian food. Enjoy a great choice of authentic cuisine at Little Lahore Tandoori Restaurant and Takeaway in Dunstable. With mouth-watering chicken, lamb, veg and fish dishes, Chursi Karahi, Nihari, mixed grill, platters and for so much more, the Little Lahore Restaurant also has a separate hall for private parties for up to 50 people at 2 Nicholas Way, LU6 1TD. Or order via Deliveroo, Uber Eats or Just Eat. We also provide external catering. For more information, call 01582 353 983. That's Little Lahore for the finest Pakistani cuisine.
You are number 19 in the queue.
Tired of hearing this? Waiting weeks for an NHS appointment? Optimise Body and Mind puts your health first.
I took a blood test and found out I was vitamin deficient.
That's right. Urgent GP appointments for just £45. Prompt, personalised care when you need it most.
I took a vitamin injection and now I feel like a new person.
Deal with symptoms, vitamin deficiencies, hormone imbalances and pick up any early signs of illness. Put your health first with Optimise Body and Mind. Call us on 0333 012 4214 or visit optimisedbodyandmind.co.uk to book your appointment today. Your health is our priority.
Allah says, I have created you in different nations and different tribes. In other verses, he's saying different languages and different colors. Lita'arafu, so you will know people, understand people, learn to live better with people. Lita'arafu, not detest people, not hate people, not kill people. We are supposed to be the people who preach love and peace and the oneness of God and unite people. And whether people understand or not, our job is to give the message.
Luton's most luxurious venue for Asian weddings is now bigger and better than ever before. With 2 venues to choose from, Venue Central can provide the ultimate setting for your wedding. 2 huge venues, 1 high standard, right in the centre of Luton. Visit us online today at venuecentral.co.uk or call us now on 01582 451 767. Venue Central, affordable luxury in a central location.
For the last 10 years, SKT Welfare, with your support, has helped millions of people who are suffering due to lack of food, shelter, water and medical care in Pakistan, Syria, Africa, Yemen, Palestine and Bangladesh for Rohingya refugees. Thank you. Without your support, we could not have achieved this. Please continue to help. Donate now 0300 30 20 786 or www.sktwelfare.org. Just 85 pence a day could provide vital food.
Do you feel at times that you just can't cope anymore? Do you find raising a child in today's society challenging? Join me in my parenting show where I aim to discuss these challenges of raising our children, ranging from nurturing sentiment to building the leaders of tomorrow. Every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. live with Sister Navid on Inspire FM or via our Inspire FM Facebook page. The Parenting Show at 7 p.m. every Tuesday evening on Inspire FM.
From the studios of Inspire FM, the time is now 6:30.
Any health advice given, whether general, diet, physical, or spiritual, is general only and must be verified by your doctor. If you need medical advice, please consult a doctor.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to all listeners and viewers. Welcome back to the Health and Fitness Show. I'm Fahad Matin, your host for today's evening, and today we are talking about revitalizing our body and mind with our very own health guru the fitness, the dietitian, Afsar Chaudhry from Gain Seekers. We have Faisal Malik from Legends MMA, and we have Optimized Boys, Nasir and the Wise Guys. Assalamu alaikum, guys. This program is broadcasting live from the studios of Inspire FM today on 8th of June, 27th of July, 2023, and the time just past 6:30. I'm not sure why I'm saying wrong date. From the studios of Inspire FM, and we are casting us positive vibes to all our lovely people in Luton and all the areas around Luton, like Dunstable, Harpenden and Bedford. Positive airways reaching all our listeners through Inspire FM app, website, and you can view us through Facebook and YouTube channels. So assalamu alaikum, guys, and welcome back. So before we went on break, I did interrupted you, did I? Brother Afsar, and I know you were in the flow.
I was
I think so. You've never been interrupted like that ever. So it is the first time for you.
My brain didn't know what to do.
Exactly. So it is the first time for you as well. So in this show, as I said, there's so many first things happening. I'm wearing Spy t-shirt for the very first time during my show. As people know who see me, who have watched me, they always see me wearing a suit. I always come in suit. I think so. I never wear a t-shirt ever in my show.
Wow.
So this is the very first time. So and I'm re-embarking a weight loss journey with you and with you guys, which is absolutely unique in many different ways, because I remember when I lost my weight last time, when I get myself into shape last time back in 2009, and it was an absolute amazing feeling. There's so many good things happened to me, so many good memories, and I really want to. The best thing about the whole thing is that my health was on the top. My health was on the top, and that's one of the reasons, because I know when I play with my boys and when I spend time with them, when I was try to be active with them, because my young boys are really, really active, and when you try to catch up with them, I start to feel tired. And I don't feel like the age which I am at the moment. I feel like more older, and I do not like that feeling. So hence I'm embarking that 12 weeks journey. But before going to that, I know I have interrupted you. You were in the flow of explaining about us, of how we can look after our health after being body and the bloods and so forth.
Yeah, so just to continue on with what I'm saying, to summarize it, we are living in a paradox of an era, right? So we have a situation where it's actually a crisis. How many people are out of shape? How many people are overweight? And how many people are suffering from mental health issues with depression, anxiety, and all these sort of things? But the good news for people who are listening to this is that you actually have more power than you've ever had. Because first of all, like I say, you can get insight into your blood work. This is what Optimize offer, right? So you can get a blueprint of exactly what's going on in your body. Right, a lot of people have no clue what's going on chemically, internally with their body, right? So once you know that, you've got something to work on with. Secondly, you've got an opportunity now where you do have coaches like myself, mentors, that when you come to me, I say to people that don't come with a sort of preconceived idea. A lot of people think that to be in shape is an obsessive thing. I would say to not be in shape is a depressive thing.
Exactly.
Agreed, yeah.
And the reason why I would say that is because, and I don't want to take up too much time, but if you ask yourself where you got this idea that leading a normal life, right, you're just eating what you want, not being active, being out of shape, being unhealthy, that's the normal thing. And if you go to the gym, you're obsessed. It's actually not. If you think about it this way, that this body that you have, it's going to last your whole lifetime, right? You should be taking care of it. It's not about how big your muscles are. It's not about how rich you are. It's about being healthy. It's about being fit. It's about being in shape. This is what's going to stop you from when you start to get into an older age, right? Which I'm seeing with people, coaching people who are 60, 70, 80, telling me they wish they'd done this when they're younger. Why? Because they're on a whole host of medications. A whole host of medications that are basically artificially keeping them going because their health is deteriorating at a rapid rate. You have the power to do something about that, right? And like I say to you, that people come up with all these sort of things like, oh, I can't get to a gym, or, you know, I can't eat this, or I can't do that. You can do something. Do something. Be more active, right? Work out, whether it's at home or at a gym, right? Get your diet into order, and all you're going to do is see positive benefits from it.
You can't go wrong. There's no negative in it. Once you take those steps, you will only see positive change.
And lastly, I wanted to say, like, you don't have to train 7 days a week, 10 days a week, whatever. Just train once a week, twice a week, build it up gradually for those that have a busy lifestyle.
And on that note, let me bring our listeners as well. So listeners, if you have any questions, queries regarding our topic today, please give us a call on 01582 481822, or you can send us your questions via text messages or WhatsApp on 07779 481822. Or if you are still interested in being part of the competition, you can still in time.
Yes, indeed. You've still got time. We're going to be announcing the winner live on this show. So we're going to be calling one lucky winner, and they know the rules if they've registered.
Yes, indeed. So get registered. You still have time. We will be announcing our winner around the end. We do have a question right in front of us. Brother Afsar, any thoughts on carnivorous diet like Joe Rogan and Jonathan Pearson encounters?
Yeah, so I'm actually a big fan of that diet. Huge fan of that diet, because what it is, what a lot of people don't realize is that, you know, when you talk about superfoods, if you actually look, so if I said to you, you can only pick a small group of foods that you have to spend the rest of your life eating, where you can actually thrive as a human being, guess what it's not going to be? Berries. Guess what it's not going to be? Vegetables. Do you know what it's going to be? It's going to be things like beef. It's going to be things like salmon. It's going to be things like eggs, right? So why I like a carnivore diet is because out of all the macronutrients that you have, protein is really, really important to building a body, right? There's no doubt about it. And when you have a diet that's a carnivore diet that removes a lot of carbohydrates, right? You're getting like healthy fats in with that. You have a body that is low inflammation, right? And you have a body that is literally in a fat burning state pretty much most of the time. So I'm a huge believer in it, but I don't stick strictly to the carnivore diet, because you'll find that if you're looking to perform better every workout and every cardio session, which if you're genuinely trying to change your body, you need to do, then you're going to need carbohydrates in there for an energy source. So what I typically do when I work with people is I give them like a hybrid. So I'll feed them carbohydrates based on how I think their body's changing, on how I think they're performing. And then the backbone of that diet is going to be a carnivore-based diet. This is for me what I think is a great way of dieting.
Because that person just literally threw another follow-up question saying, I eat all I eat is beef. Is that okay? Beef for breakfast, beef for lunch, beef for dinner, and is it okay to do for 3 months?
Yeah, you're not going to get any negative effect from doing that. But the true basis on how good your diet is working depends on the progress that you're seeing. Do you know what I mean? Like, so my question to that brother would be like, what changes are you seeing? Then you know how to evaluate or change your diet. Because when you're working with me, for example, let's say I've got somebody and they're working with me over a period of 6 months. I don't put them on a diet and they stay on that diet the whole time. We're changing it based on how their body responds, based on what their feedback is. then we tweak it from there. So you could be following a certain diet for a couple of weeks, then I make changes, and you're following that diet for a couple of weeks. So everything is very like intense because I'm looking at you, I'm looking at your physique, like what I'm going to do with you. I'm looking at your weight, I'm looking at how you perform, and then I'm tweaking the diet based on that person. So there's no one fit diet that's going to work for every human being. And that's what's overwhelming because you go on the internet, you find all these diets that promise success, you get none.
I have my own example because I was doing the intermittent fasting for good 3 months and I was not losing a single kg. And I remember I spoke to my GP and says, well, what's happening? I'm doing intermittent diet. And you said you will lose weight. And he says, well, if you put a blindfold and put a shot on any diet, and if you follow it with the regime, yes, you can able to do it. So definitely you're doing something wrong. And I did not able to understood what I was doing wrong till I start seeing your diet, because I have not started the journey yet. It will be starting from this weekend. So inshallah. So I was just doing some test runs and I was saying, and as you said, Nasir, sometimes you just literally go and pick habits of picking things up without thinking twice. Because as you said, you always put a message through that you eat when you want, you sleep when you want.
100%. I'm into like a bit of biohacking, right?
Biohacking.
So because to be honest with you, it's quite detailed. I've conditioned my body for it, but you have to go through a journey. Like what I've learned from Afsa, all the diets, how to eat, when to eat, how to eat. I mean, I've been on quite a few plans with him. And as he says, is the first plan he gives you isn't your final plan. Now, a lot of people say, oh, can I borrow your plan? And you can let anybody you want to borrow it. It's not going to work on them, right? What happens is you go through week by week and you're constantly losing weight, but it's efficient. Okay, because after 12 weeks, your performance, your results in 12 weeks, what you can get with Afsa, you're not going to get yourself because he's going to put all the rules, all the skills, all the experience that has inside you, and it's efficient. All the experience, 20 years of experience, you're kind of getting in 12 weeks, really. So to be honest with you, it is the most efficient way to do it.
Yeah, every person has their own puzzle. This is the thing. I can sit here and genuinely tell you, after working with thousands of people, that no two people's diet is the same. Do you see what I mean? It depends on what the person's trying to achieve. So I'll give you an example what I mean. Let's say I'm working with a young lad who's trying to become a competitive fighter versus a lady who's just recently had a baby and is postpartum versus a nanny who's in her 80s and wants to just come off her medication, lessen the blood pressure medication, lessen the cholesterol medication. Their training plan, their diet plan, their cardio plan, their supplement plan are going to be completely different paths. And that's what people don't realize, is that the reason people get the results that they do with me is because everything's tailored around them, their goal, and their body type, and how their body's responding. So this is the thing that a lot of people don't realize, and that's the whole point of this show, is to educate you on this.
The most important thing you mentioned about the nannies and elder lot. So, for example, what I find is like our elders, 60, 70-year-old. Now, to be honest with you, now they don't know how to lose weight. They don't know how to eat. No. They used to eat curries and chapatis and rice, right? So, like you mentioned, I know we have many discussions, and now you're dealing with elder people, telling them to eat and trying to get them into shape. Our people are prone to diabetes and cholesterol.
Yes.
Right? So, simple adjustment that really help. And also, Faisal, I know yourself, you have a Lenny's MMA gym, and you focus on fighters and you focus on people with normal fitness, but also you do cater for older people. You slow down for them so they get the flexibility, they can get the muscles working, etc. So it's not just for young people or or people who lose weight. It's even for old people. We're trying to change people, trying to make you feel the best version of yourself. I think that's what we're trying to achieve, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, some of the best feedback I've had has been from people that I've worked with in their 70s and 80s. The absolute elation to be able to come off medication. Because what a lot of people don't realize about medication is that you can take a medication that will fix your blood pressure, but it cause a whole host of other issues.
100%.
This is what people don't realize.
You're masking the symptoms of the core. You're not dealing with the core problem anymore.
Absolutely.
And when you're 70, technically, you're bedridden anyway, and anything you can do to stop you from being there. Well, I'm not general, not everybody, but generally people, when you get older, you tend to get sick, isn't it? Right. Yeah. So whatever you can do to kind of stop that from happening and making sure you have a good quality of life, then spending time with your grandchildren, spending times, in retirement and traveling, whatever you're going to do, you've got energy to do that. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the most important part.
Yeah, 100.
Indeed. I must say my text lines have gone completely crazy. So far, I can see like 15 odd questions right in front of me. I'm thinking, how can I cover that when I just literally have 15 minutes left?
1 minute question.
So I'll ask one of the questions which just pop on my screen, which is there at the moment. He says, without a name, and says, how should one incorporate weightlifting if you train grappling without being sore all the time?
Okay.
It's in your end.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I'll answer that. It depends first of all, it depends how many times you're training grappling in the week, how many times you're lifting. You don't need to be going 100% every day in the weight room. Keep it like 70%, 60%, and just work on the compound lifts. You don't need to do too much bodybuilding, I'd say, because it wouldn't really help your grappling. Keep your movements functional and work on your mobility and make sure you're getting enough sleep. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And sometimes that's the best way a person can do. Now, when we talk about the blood works, and I think so somebody just posted a question in the same line, says, so Nasir, in terms of the bloods, how does the blood works?
So blood works is what we do is, normally if you go to GP, they'll only test what they want to investigate. So if you had a stomach ache, why are they going to check your testosterone or anything like that? They have to find enough reasons to get to that diagnosis. So what we do is we do a very comprehensive blood test. It's called a health MOT. We check your red blood cells, white blood cells, liver function, kidney function, gout, cholesterol, diabetes. We got your vitamins, minerals, and a very comprehensive hormone profile. So what happens is with this data, we can start first of all, looking at biomarkers, any deficiencies you have, we can help you deal with it straight away. Any early signs of illness, you can speak to one of our GPs, or you can actually take the report to your own GP. Now, instead of a GP now or your doctor to kind of have a look at it and trying to start from the beginning, he's got a lot of data now to work with. So if you go to him and say, look, you know what, I'm very low energy, what should I do? Then he can possibly straight away say, okay, fair enough, you've got a bit of deficiencies here, we'll deal with those, etc. So it's a bit more targeted. You're saving time because now your doctor doesn't have to send your bloods off and come back after 2 weeks, right? You've actually got data from them. Also, it's a very good way to pick up any early signs of illness. We've had many patients that come in and we found that they're diabetic. We've even had people that we did diagnosed with cancer through the blood test. So it's very important.
One of the other things which I personally wanted them because it is not easy. It is really not easy to self-motivate yourself. And I know you have gone through an enormous journey of self-motivation. How did you self-motivated yourself? Because the one thing you always say is biohack, because I really
I'll be honest with you. Faisal, I train with Faisal and Afsan knows me, we work together. And I think one of the most simplest thing I do, and Faisal, you know that, is I give 100% in everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So anything I do, I give 100% to it. I think last time we were on the punch bag and I think it was 30 seconds and he's like, Nasa, slow down. And I said, no, you know what? I'll do 30 seconds this week hard and I'll do 35 seconds next week. And at some point, I'll do 100 minutes non-stop, right? So for me, it's all about, I feel as a civilized member of the community, anything that you do should be minimum 100%. And if you're giving it for less than that, then there's something wrong with
it. Exactly.
I believe,
Couldn't agree more.
I would say motivation, right? Because this is the question that I get a lot when people come to me, is that motivation is a dwindling thing, right? It's one day you got it, one day you don't have it. So I would say don't rely on motivation. I would say that motivation, and this is why a lot of people aren't motivated, because motivation comes from doing something, right? You see, when you go through a program like this and you've made the decision that, look, I want to be fitter, I want to be healthier, I want to be stronger, I want to be in better shape, and you start to put yourself through that routine, right? And you start to see your body change. You start to feel fitter. You start to get healthier. You're looking in the mirror. You're seeing your shape change. This will provide motivation. You can think about motivation. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want. Until you do something in life and achieve something, you're never going to feel motivated.
There's no shortcut. There's no shortcut. Exactly. You have to go through that effort.
Yeah, indeed. And one other follow-up one in terms of the section about motivation, because when you are doing these kind of exercises, and I mean heavy exercises, you feel tired, lethargic. How can you put yourself back?
Can I be honest with you on that one? I'll give you a real example right now. I just finished a 2-hour session with Faisal doing the boxing. afterwards, I feel broken sitting here. But you know the truth? This is what's going through my head right now. I'm going to be better on the next session.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that simple, right? You've got to challenge yourself in life. Without no challenge, without no adversities, without no hurdles, you're just sitting and watching life go by.
Indeed. And Faisal, before we just have 5 minutes before the end of the show. A very last one. Can everybody, can anyone train to become an MMA fighter?
Yeah, of course. I'm the perfect example. I was 110 kilos when I first started. I was overweight, out of shape. Didn't have a clue what's going on. But
110 kilos.
Yeah, I was 110 kilos. I was obese.
That's more than me.
Yeah, I was massive. People don't know that because they're all the season pictures of me lean right now. But back in the day when I first started, I was just average guy, just overweight. But I just went to the gym and I just fell in love with it. And I truly believe martial arts, especially, is for everyone. For general fitness, for people that want to actually fight or whatever, that's fine. We care for that. But fighting and survival as humans is in us. That's why I truly believe martial arts is for everyone. And if you're listening, go to the nearest gym. Legends MMA, we got it all covered. Boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. We have the best coaches. We have 8 coaches on board. Come and try our classes for free.
100%. I think the most important is there's free classes. Yeah. People can just come in and try them.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you love them.
Exactly.
I think one thing, Asa, you mentioned, right? After I find when I go to Faisal, halfway through, your body's broken.
Yeah.
But once you pass that pain barrier, you start enjoying it, don't you?
That's right.
You really do.
Yeah.
And it's called martial arts for a reason. It is an art. A lot of people think fighting is just about throwing punches and kicks.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't actually realize how mentally disciplined, how mentally focused you need to be, how fit you need to be. So my question to that brother is exactly what Faisal said. You can become anything. The question is, how big can you dream? But also, how hard are you willing to work?
Indeed. And on that note, I must say, wow, the time has passed really quickly. We just literally have 4 minutes before the end of the show. And that note, I must say, let's go towards our competition side. As somebody just say, how do I enter the competition? Well, the competition was on since last week regarding this one. All the details were there on the website. But anyhow, somebody also said, I do not have any questions. Just listening to brothers giving me, just listening to the brothers and absorbing the endless energies of Afsa. Thank you for bringing up the topic. Wish you all brothers very best. Right. The wise guy.
Right. So basically, we're going to call one lucky winner.
Yeah.
So the plan is, and it's on the internet as well, we're going to dial someone. We're going to expect an answer, and let's see what happens. So I'm going to dial right now, and we'll go from here. Let's see the first one. Oh dear.
Oh,
ouch.
Next one.
Oh dear.
Next one, please.
Let's go to the next one. Bear with us.
And they do need to say some words, isn't it?
They do need to say some words.
And not hero.
Let's see if they pick up. Oh dear, we're going to give them 2 more rings. 1.
They lost the £1,000 package.
Let's move on to the next one.
Next one. Wow, I must say, I never thought so many people will enter the pots there.
Yeah.
This list literally look
go.
endless. How can we cover all these numbers?
There must be a win on this show today.
Hopefully.
Oh, unfortunately, you've lost the chance. Sorry.
You give a chance.
You are.
It's a brutal competition.
Ouch. Next.
Last one.
Tell them to not say that phrase. The
Right, you pick it up.
What's the phrase?
We
Make
love
me a
Inspire
winner.
FM.
Make me winner. Inspire FM, make me winner.
Inspire, make me a winner.
Yeah! What's your name, brother?
Michael Chivers.
Lovely.
Lovely, brilliant.
Michael, please stay on the line and we'll grab all your details in a bit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay,
Michael.
and on that note, I would definitely want to say a very big thanks to all our brothers. A very quick message from all of you individually. Let's start with you, Nasir.
Guys, okay, fine. So thank you for having us. It was a brilliant show, and we're looking forward to coming again. And I think what we've decided between the 3 of our businesses that anybody who comes to Optimize Body Mind and mention Inspire FM, you'll get 10% off this week for the next 7 days.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you for listening. For me, I open Legends MMA, and I hope you come down and come train with us one day.
Yes, indeed, and definitely, I will be taking your offer.
Yeah, come down, bro.
Inshallah.
You have to make some videos as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I feel very scared.
You know, man. I'll cater it towards you, don't worry.
Inshallah. And last but not least, my brother Afsar.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed being here today on the show. And what I want to tell you guys who are listening is this, right? Is that this is going to be a regular feature, inshallah. And I want you guys to get as much value as possible out of it. So think ahead, right? When we're on next, I want you to drill me with questions so that I can share the experience and knowledge that I have, helping over 4,000 people get into the shape of their lives. You know, it's a great opportunity for me to give back, and it's a great opportunity for you guys to learn.
Indeed. And last but not least, the wise guy. Give us some wise words of wisdom.
Some wise words from you, please.
Just be healthy and be fit.
Indeed. And thank you so much. That's the perfect words. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you so much for coming to the show. Thank you so much for being here for the very first time. And no, this is the very first time, but this is not the last time. We will be seeing it. And definitely we will reconvene after 12 weeks when I complete my journey. Inshallah. If life permits, if Allah permits, inshallah.
6 packs we will see, yeah?
I can't do that. It's a Spire FM show, man. Come on. But yeah, inshallah. But thank you so much, guys. And thank you so much for all our listeners as well. So do keep us in the du'as. Do remember us. And keep listening to Spire FM. And this is Fahad Matin signing off. Assalamu alaikum.